Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey there everyone, my name is Muhammad Hakim bin Abdul Aziz. You can call me Hakim. My student ID is 20192963 and 74. So today for my CIT261 individual assignment, which is to making a video tutorial, I'm gonna be making a tutorial on how to differentiate genres between music. So without further ado, let's start. So for starters, we are going to talk about instruments being used by different type of genres. Now, musical elements are changing based on the instruments that they use, and that is also genre. Genre also changes with the instrument used in the song or in the music, because music creates tempo for the song, creates sound, it creates the vibe. So when you use certain instruments, it can change the whole dynamic of the song, making it change genres or mixing the genres. So we're gonna talk about, firstly, is classical music. Classical music is a certain music with a combination of solo violin, symphony orchestra, and string quartet. There's also cello and many more, and intended for concert performances only. Next one is rock music. Rock music is a popular genre that is centered on this electric guitar, usually as part of a rock group with electric bass, guitar, and also drums. We can see from the bands like Queens and many more, like Guns N' Roses. There's always a guitarist, a bass guitarist, a drummer, and also a singer. Now those are the basic components or the basic instruments being used in rock music. Now relative to rock music is heavy metal. Heavy metal music is characterized by extended guitar solos. This kind of music is very loud and shouted with violent lyrics usually, because heavy metal is a kind of form of art where people express anger, rage, but the lyrics are sometimes more violent, but not all of them are like that. Some heavy metal music have very good lyrics into it. So the third one, we're gonna go with jazz. Now jazz has a style of music originated by Black Americans and often uses instruments like trumpets, a string bass, and also a saxophone. Now jazz is personally my preference for music, because jazz is a very slow type of song. It gives a soul into it, and you can see jazz has been modernized on lately, because there's also R&B. R&B has also jazz elements in it, but R&B is kind of the modernized version. They use many kinds of instruments, and for me, jazz or R&B is basically using instruments to make you feel calm, make you feel chill, and that is why that kind of song is really my preference. That's my type of song right there. So let's get to the next one, which I'm gonna teach you. The musical tempo that are used by different genres. So let's get into it. Tempo, or in the music industry, people usually call it BPM. One of the most important features of music is tempo at its played at. Nowadays, that is usually expressed in BPM. BPM means beats per minute. To identify music genres by this feature, first you have to know what the typical BPM of most genres are. So let me give you some examples. Some of popular non-electric genres are approximate tempo ranges, including for example, here we got reggae. Now reggae, we know Bob Marley is a very iconic artist of the reggae scene. The typical BPM is 60 to 90, which is really slow and really chill kind of vibe. And then there's a genre called downtempo. Downtempo usually uses 70 to 100 BPM. It's a little bit faster than reggae, but it is still considered slow. Pop only, the usual music we listen to at the radio, which is pop, uses 100 to 130 BPM. That's 130 beats per minute. That is so fast. Now we got chill out, hip hop, jazz and funk going at from 90 to 125 BPM. and this really shows how elements like jazz, funk, R&B, and those kind of genres is the middle between fast and slow, which is a very perfect balance, and that's why I love R&B and jazz. Okay, now rock. Rock uses 110 beats per minute to 140 beats per minute, making the song very loud, very fast. And I guess that's why the rock scene in the 80s were so popular, because people were demanding fast kind of music. They were demanding hardcore entertainment. That's why rock was famous at that time. And until today, don't get me wrong, until today rock is a very, very popular musical culture and musical genre. So for the final lesson for today, we are going to talk about famous music and recognizing its genre. Now there's a lot of famous music out there, and there are some people who fail to realize the genre of the music, or they don't know how to differentiate the genre. As you know, most famous song in the radio right now usually uses the pop genre, because like rock in the 80s, pop also uses a higher tempo of BPM and requires many kind of instrumental elements, uses many types of instruments of course. And pop is a very fast-paced song, making people not bored while hearing to it, and they also like those kind of fast tempo music. And so famous songs that uses pop as the genre are, for example, Dua Lipa. In her new album Future Nostalgia uses 80s kind of pop, which is still fast but have that retro tempo. The Weeknd is generally a pop artist, but people who listen to others of his music know that he is more to soul and R&B. But The Weeknd, like Blinding Lights, After Hours, he prefers to use pop genre into it. So we got two, Dua Lipa, The Weeknd. Those artists use pop as their music. And Billie Eilish too uses pop as her forte genre. Songs like All the Good Girls Go to Hell, I Don't Wanna Be You Anymore, those kind of music uses pop as its main genre. So other than that, we can talk about R&B. Now R&B and jazz, these are my favorite kind of genre. So firstly, let me recognize to you Bruno Major. The song easily really depicts how R&B songs should be, because it's so relaxing, it's so good, it's a song that you can vibe to. Other than that, there's Daniel Caesar, songs like Best Part, Japanese Denim. Those are kind of a soul, R&B, jazz kind of vibe. And there's also artists like SZA. SZA is a very soul kind of music artist. Songs like Hit Different, Good Days, The Weeknd, those kind of songs uses R&B and jazz kind of genre. And then other than that, we can look at Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is a pop soul artist. Now you might be asking, is pop and soul kind of have a balance, because soul is kind of a slow song while pop is kind of fast? But Ed Sheeran makes it with only using his guitar and other small elements, other small instruments, to make sure it balances. So that's all you need to know for you to differentiate the music genre. The example that I've given at this point is the example that I gave, like the artist names and their music, should really give you an image of how you can differentiate these musical genres. The instruments that I told you at the first should open your eyes, because you can clearly identify the musical genre after hearing the instruments played in that music, and also the tempo, the BPM. Remember, I told you guys about the BPM, and that really changes the dynamics and the landscape of the music. So guys, that's all that I got for you today. Thank you, Sir Fakrul, for giving me an opportunity to make this video and to tell people how passionate I am in music, and to pass down my knowledge to people who will be watching this video. And I hope this video is very useful for you guys. Me as a person, I really like music and I relate music to my whole life. There's just so much music that I can relate to, and I hope by helping you guys knowing the genre, knowing the tempo, knowing famous song of these genres will also help you guys appreciate music more. Because me myself, I really love music, and music is literally everything for me. So for you guys to actually appreciate music, you guys gotta learn the genres, you guys gotta learn the cultural backgrounds behind it, because genres can also be altered by their genre, but genres can also altered by their cultures. So that's all for me today. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.